I, 30F, haven't heard from my husband, 31M, for 3 weeks. Advice needed please? I, 30F, separated from my 31M husband in January. We had been together 10 years and married for 5. Last year myself and my husband were made homeless, causing us to move in with his parents. We were supposed to be saving for a deposit for a house of our own, however my husband just wouldn't save and kept spending on hobbies. Things became strained living with his parents and I had a mental breakdown. I moved back in with my mother in January, who lives a few miles away in the middle of the countryside. My mental health was bad and I needed some space from his parents. January and February were hard and I missed my husband a great deal. We spoke regularly but he refused to see me. In March and April we began spending time together again. My mental health had improved substantially and we were growing close again. In the latter half of May he became distant and kept planning things with me but then canceling last minute, making excuses. In June he admitted he was seeing someone. A 55-year-old woman his company worker had introduced him to. She's married with 2 daughters, aged 12 and 15. Her husband and kids are unaware that she is going for days out with my husband. My husband also reassured me that they're just friends at the moment and that they're only going for walks together. I was shocked and hurt because I was under the impression myself and my husband were working on things. I asked him about this and his reasoning was, "You were the one who left. You abandoned me," which is fair enough, but I tried to explain to him I didn't leave because of him. I offered him marriage counseling, to which he agreed, so I paid and booked the first session. Since doing this he has ghosted me. It's been 3 weeks now and I have heard nothing from him. He ignores my messages or calls despite being online and posting on Facebook and Instagram. I'm not sure if I should just give up and file for divorce. You wanted counseling after he told you about his 55-year-old GF? Move on. He's not interested in you and he's trying to make it so the fault lies on you instead of supporting you and your mental health. He's made you homeless and allowed you to be abused by his parents. This is a horrible husband and it's time to move on. File for divorce. What do you want? Would you consider taking him back after he has been seeing someone else? I wouldn't. I think you need to think about yourself here. I can't believe that he hasn't supported you with your mental health and decided to start seeing someone else. What a horrible man. I don't think his girlfriend wants him to talk to you. Yes, you should file. This is beyond repair. He's dated other people. He refuses to even answer a call or text. It's past time. It seems pretty clear that your marriage is over and your husband has moved on. It was probably already over when you moved in with his parents. He was spending on hobbies because he didn't want to buy a house with you. Now he can use your moving out as an excuse and get sympathy from everyone. Cut your losses, call a lawyer, and get some therapy. Best of luck to you. I, 34F, finally met my boyfriend's father of my kid, 41 meters, female friend, and I get a bad vibe. So last Friday, my boyfriend, father of my daughter, 41, planned this dinner with his guys to have Korean barbecue and he tells me his homegirl might join. In the 3 years we've been together I have yet to meet her, so I was like, cool. He's been telling me about this dinner for a month and really wanted me to come. Anyways, we get there super early, no one there yet but find a way to pass the time. A few of his guy friends start trickling in and they get down to drinking. I can't drink because I'm 21 weeks pregnant. Almost 2 hours later we finally start to eat. And I kinda push for it because my 1-year-old should be hungry at this point. My BF's homegirl finally shows up and barely acknowledges me. He tells her, that's my girl, and without even looking at me, she's playfully to him like, no, sarcastically, as if she didn't already guess that. He also didn't bring her over to introduce her to me. I'm sitting trying to make sure my kid is safe in her high chair, so I was expecting her to come close and shake my hand or something. That doesn't happen, so I'm waiting for her to at least look at me so I can be like, hey, we have the same color green on. But nothing. She at least kind of says hi to my daughter. So I'm like, whatever. All good. My boyfriend is sitting next to her, my daughter is on his left and I'm at the end of the table, with kid on my right. No biggie, I'm just trying to keep my kid happy while they drink and catch up. My kid starts getting antsy, so I take her to an empty part of the restaurant. I'm gone for like 15 minutes. When I get back to the table I notice my man and his homegirl's arms are pressing against each other. For no reason at all, because he has a shit ton of space and doesn't need to be that close. I just get a quick pit in my stomach. Like a bad feeling or something. But I ignore it, thinking I just get jealous. They're all still drinking and my kid is getting tired, so I'm just like, well, I'm going to take her home. And boyfriend asks if I don't mind that he stays. I say he was going to do that anyway. Although, I was hoping he'd come back, but fine, he doesn't go out much. When I leave, I make the initiative to say nice to meet you and give her a hug. My man walks me out. A bit of background. Last month, he went out with his friends while I was out of town with our kid visiting my mom. I did not hear from him till 5 p.m. the next day, despite my calls and texts asking if he was okay. His excuse, he was hungover and sleeping in, then rushed out to drive to PA to visit his mom. Significant other BC of that, I now track his location. So back to Friday, I'm tracking his location all night, around 1:30 it looks like he's on his way home, so I'm like, okay, good guy. Then I check again and he's in Williamsburg, at some park that overlooks the city. He's there till 4 a.m. I'm thinking maybe all the guys went out there after. But I get on my Finsta and look her up. Luckily her shit is public. She has a video of where they're at and it's completely quiet. I see two shadows, hers and possibly my man's. I'm thinking, if his guy friends went, I would have at least heard them because they've all been drinking. When I confronted him, he was honest about his whereabouts but said there were 3 of them there, including a friend who's going through a rough time with his wife. I kinda believe him, but also, who knows, the shadows in her video only show 2. Then I ask about last month when I didn't hear from him till late the next day and she just so happened to be there that night and I had no prior knowledge of that. Significant other, another red flag to me. I told him I don't think it's appropriate for him to be bumping arms and staying out that late with a woman I don't know. He told me he doesn't want to entertain my jealousy, swears he's never been intimate with her and that I should trust him because of all the things he does for our family. So now he's making himself out to be the victim and giving me the silent treatment. Mind you, I'm pregnant with our second daughter, and just don't think this behavior is appropriate, especially if it's just the 2 of them. Has anyone dealt with something similar? How can I move past the slight distrust that is eating me up? Trust the obvious, that pit in your stomach was your intuition. He's up to no good and he's doing it right in front of you. He gets off on this. My best friend is a man. It would never take me 3 years to meet the woman he's with, especially with 1.5 children. No baby gift? No meeting her friend's offspring? I am assuming he's billed this woman as a good friend, but she's not behaving like one. Add the touchy and staying out until 4 a.m. with mysterious IG posts and I'd say you got a boyfriend problem. I'm not sure how to make you feel better because he's not behaving like a partner, husband material, or father. Gross. You should be the jewel in his crown. This part of life, drinking and staying out till 4 a.m., goes bye-bye, and when you man up and start a family. You're not his girl. You're the mother of his children and should be treated as a partner and best friend. Bizarre to me he felt it okay to send you home alone to do all the heavy lifting with child rearing while he behaves single. Where are all the good men today? 'Cause girl, he ain't one of them. Yikes. It's so baffling when I read the same stories over and over. I don't understand, do women just expect to always be treated less than? Imagine having a partner that would never put himself in a situation where he is alone with another woman and it's literally the easiest thing for them to do. Imagine them wanting to sit next to you and help with your kids, then sit away from you in an environment you are unfamiliar with. It really hurts that this feels okay for you and you even have to ask strangers for advice. He's not nice. He entertains her and frankly doesn't care what you think and knows you'll do nothing about it. I'm sorry. Dude is in his 40s and staying out at all hours rubbing on some other woman with his baby and pregnant girl at home? Then he turns it back on you when you have questions? He's a loser and not partner material. He's no good, but you have these 2 kids to worry about. Do you have options to leave this fool who will only remain as faithful as his options? Seems like my girlfriend, 25 female, is breaking up with me without actually doing it, 26 male. My girlfriend and I have been together for 3 years, have a pet, and frequent talks of building a future together. For the most part we have always been a strong relationship. We'd have some fights and they were always around the same theme. She is more outgoing and social than I am, and likes to be a bit wild. She has her own anxieties, but mine have always been social anxieties. And at times when going out, insecurities would flare and arguments would happen from one party or another. Now for the most part we never went out a ton, and it was always a concern how we were bad at it, but not something that occurred even monthly. About a month ago, she had plans to go see a friend at her house and stay the weekend. When she came back from the trip she told me that she had real concerns about our future because she really enjoyed herself and feels as if whether I act on it or not, I'm insecure about it and upset. That I am a great guy but we may not match in this department. I got defensive a bit and said that all I ask of my girlfriend is respectful of the relationship. Since then, she has been back and forth between staying at her parents' or friends' houses for basically every day. She's starting a new job so had some time off. As concern grew on my end because I feel like I'm never even seeing her anymore, it went from, "Oh no babe, I just want to see my friends, I missed them. We're okay, I promise I'll be back soon." But then she'd keep having excuses to go to her mom's for the night instead, and never coming back. Fast forward to now, she tells me she has been having fun and it's made her realize that she's felt restricted in our relationship for the entire 3 years. We have a lengthy talk. I've been pushing for us to figure it out, and how sorry I am to make her feel that way. How we are young and I think could be better at communicating things to avoid buildup. And how I want to make sure she never feels that way again, so we'll work towards this seriously with her. Now, she requested we block each other for a week as she goes to the beach with her mom for a quiet long weekend to focus on what's best for us. Every brief period she'd come back between visits, maybe an hour a week the past month. She's been packing a bag, but never bringing a bag back. I feel like she's slowly moving out, maybe obvious. But when we have these long talks she tells me she isn't going anywhere and is just taking time for herself and wants us to be the best we can when she comes back. I feel so blindsided and absolutely crushed. Mostly because as I even type this I know how it sounds. I just can't comprehend why she would tell me good things and positive things while continuing to not come home ever. Advice? As a woman of the same age I can give you advice. It may be hard to do, but I would suggest you let her go. She seems like she likes freedom and is a bit wild. If you keep asking her what's going on or ask her to stay she is likely gonna want to do the opposite. As a woman I would second guess myself if you accepted my leaving and looked like you were moving on. If you looked happy, don't be too available for her to come back whenever she wants. If you love her and miss her I imagine it will be very upsetting for you. But yeah, don't ask her to stay. Let her go if that's what she wants. I am sorry she is treating you and her feeling so carelessly. Perhaps she doesn't deserve you anyway. You sound like a nice person. Sounds like she went away, truly thought about it, realized you're incompatible, came back and told you a month ago. The conversation got stopped because you became defensive. You talked again and she again said so she's chosen not to go through that again, let you know she's not happy with the relationship, and rather than hear her and go through the breakup, you've chosen to push for working it out. She realized she can't discuss this with you to conclusion, so she's making her exit with as little confrontation as possible. Accept that it's over and set her free by telling her so. Some weird fucking game she's playing. Question is, why do you want to entertain this? It's either you're together or not. All this, I need a break, thing maybe would make sense if she was a teenager, but she's 25. Hello? Have some self-respect and just let her go. You're a homebody with insecurities and she's an extrovert and enjoys socializing. You're not compatible. And yes, it sounds like she is breaking up by stealth for some reason. Time to see reality. It sounds like you're looking for clarity on why she wants all this distance from you now and why she's taking her stuff out. I would ask her straight up and see what she says. Maybe she has a vision for your future together that involves more space and boundaries, which would be healthy to discuss. Or maybe she is breaking up. But talking to her openly is the only way to go emo. Let her go. It's over. Husband, 38 male, shattered my life, 38 female, and I don't know where to go from here. This is a throwaway account for obvious reasons. This is a long story and I'm sorry. I guess I'm not sure what I'm looking for with this post. Any advice at all, I suppose. My husband and I have been together for over 17 years but only married for 8. Over the dating years there were short breakups due to me being ready for marriage and knowing he was my person, to him always being unsure. I'd bring it up, he'd break my heart, I'd leave and then he'd come begging me back. Again, he was it for me and always had been, so I'd allow him back. Besides not being on the same page with getting married to each other, our relationship was amazing. We were the best of friends and people could always feel the love radiating off of us and couldn't believe we weren't getting married. We've always been perfect for one another. Fast forward to our last breakup, he came begging and crying for me back and told me I was the one and everything I've wanted to hear for years. From then on everything was damn near perfect. We moved out of state for a bit, got married and lived happily for the most part. I say for the most part because after moving away from family, I struggled a bit with that for a while. But I got over it, got used to being away and was truly happy. After years of being away we made the decision to move back home closer to family again. There started the downfall of us. I'd pick up on his distance, lack of affection etc. There was no fighting or a fight to cause anything, it was just like a switch. I tried ignoring it as I knew he was really unhappy at his new job. COVID was happening and we were trying to buy a house. I tried to chalk it up to high stress and power through. Well, COVID calmed down, we got a house, he was settling in more to his job, he still didn't like it but it wasn't as bad as the beginning. But things continued to get worse. He became more and more distant and things just constantly felt insanely off. I'd ask him about it and try to figure out what was up and he would always say it's nothing, it was just anxiety. As years have passed with nothing improving and my constant begging of asking him what the fuck was happening, I snapped at times. I threw the divorce word at him. I'm not proud of it, I know it's wrong but I also had no idea what the fuck else to do. I tried and begged for him to tell me what's up and he wouldn't say anything. Then finally just over a year ago my world got rocked. He finally told me what has been going on. He told me he had been going to therapy behind my back. He doesn't think we have the best intellectual compatibility and it makes him lose respect for me. My quirks and features that he used to enjoy just remind him of my mother now, which is not a good thing to him, and he finds me annoying for no real reason. He also holds resentment towards me for moving back home when he wanted to stay where we were. He never told me how he felt about moving and I always believed it was a decision we made together. If he had told me how he felt, we would have stayed and I voiced that. I have no idea where any of his negative feelings came from or how they started and I'm so incredibly hurt by his words, actions and feelings. It's like he woke up one day and decided he didn't like me anymore. We did couples therapy for a few weeks, but he gave no effort at all or would do any of the things they would suggest. I finally made the decision to move out and we agreed on separation for now. Elv been gone for 7 months and nothing has improved. He refuses to talk about anything regarding us or the giant elephant in the room. He shuts down and will hardly respond to me when I pour my heart out over and over. He wants to not talk about anything, see if we can start fresh, with no expectations, and going slow. I hardly ever hear from him. He's asked to hang out maybe a handful of times and he says he's trying. I feel like he's giving me the bare minimum and not trying at all. When divorce is brought up he tells me it's too hard to think about and puts it on me that I'm the one giving up and saying I don't want to try. I honestly feel like he's shattered my life. He's lost my trust and as badly as I don't want things to end, I feel like he should be begging at my feet and moving mountains to get me back. I don't feel like I should be the one fighting for him, and trying to get him to date me to see if he can like me again. I feel like it's like I have no respect for myself. I don't know if I'm wrong, if I'm giving up on our marriage, or if I'm completely stupid for trying and sticking around as long as I have. I'm so miserable and constantly break down and I don't know what to do. About anything. Advice? My advice is for you to go to therapy individually to help you process what has happened. From what you have written, he has done nothing to save the marriage, and it sounds like he has no intention of it. I'd also consult with a divorce lawyer. From what you have written, you are giving all the love and effort, but he isn't. A marriage takes two to work. I want to be kind but I just don't think this man likes you. And I don't really understand why you continue to try and have a relationship with him. From the sounds of it he's always giving you the barest amount of attention he can and some of the things he said to you? Why would you want more of that abuse? I know you love him but he does not love you. And I think you deserve to go through life with someone who does love you. Advice. Get a lawyer. You don't need your STB ex-husband's permission or agreement to get going on the divorce. Miss Ma'am, your clapping hands light skin tone husband clapping hands light skin tone does clapping hands light skin tone not clapping hands light skin tone like clapping hands light skin tone you clapping hands light skin tone. Get a lawyer, find a therapist, and grieve your loss. It's over, it's been over, and your husband isn't going to come back unless he decides it's somehow beneficial for him to do so. Furthermore, why would you want to stay married to someone who so fundamentally resents and has so much contempt for you? This is one of those things you can't, and shouldn't want to, come back from. In short, if he's not willing to cooperate or try at least, then it's divorce for sure. One side cannot pull for the marriage and the other not give a shit. Maybe he does want the divorce but doesn't want to come across as being seen as the bad guy. Has he been having an affair?